Happy New Year! I love a new year, a fresh beginning. It's a great time for everyone to become a better version of themselves and become inspired to make a bunch of resolutions that we're probably not going to keep. This year, I feel like everyone is ready for a new beginning. If you are as over 2020 as I am, click the like button now. Offers.com polled 1,000 adults on what their New Year's resolutions are, and 23% of them said they want to save money and get out of debt. So as a realtor, I get asked all the time, how do I save up for a house? I get asked a lot by my fellow millennials, and I have a special place in my heart for someone saving up for their first house. They just don't know what to expect, and they don't know how to do it, but they want it so badly. So I made this video where we can talk about what the lender is going to require of you and how to save up for your first house. If you have any questions about your specific situation, you want to make a plan, call me, text me, and we can set up a time to talk about it. So let's get started. Okay, first thing a lender is going to look at is your credit score. So if you've got a great credit score, that would be 740 or up, you're going to get the best rate possible. 760, you might get extra benefits from your lender. If you're lower than 720, you're probably going to get charged a lot of fees. Your lender's also going to look at your last 2 years of tax returns. They want to see that you're making consistent income and hopefully that it's going up over time. So if you're looking to buy a house in the next 2 years, don't make too many deductions because you want to make it look like you're making as much income as possible. The next thing your lender's going to look at is your bank statements. So be prepared to give maybe 6 months of bank statements. They want to see where your money's coming from, how much cash is going out every day. They want to make sure that your mom and dad aren't the ones sending you money every month to make it look like you have income. They also want to make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing. So don't shoot the messenger here. I'm not accusing anyone, but make sure everything's on the up and up. They're also going to look at your reserves. They want to make sure that you've got up to 6 months of mortgage interest, taxes, insurance, so that you can keep paying once they close on the loan if something happens. So they'll take into consideration your retirement accounts, your 401k, kind of stuff like that. So that's what the lender is generally looking for. Now, what are you saving up for? The first thing you're saving for is a down payment. The bank wants to see that you have money on the line as well. So your down payment is going to be your initial equity in the property. And traditionally you hear this is 20%, doesn't always have to be. If you don't put down 20%, you're going to be paying PMI, which stands for private mortgage insurance. And that's usually 0.5% to 1% of the total loan annually. So this is not equity, it's just a fee. And this can build up over time, but if the market is going up like it is now, it might be better to hop in the market and buy a house now instead of paying more later and having 20% to put down. There are also down payment assistance programs. If you're interested in this or you think you may qualify for one of them, reach out to me and I can definitely help. You can also put down less than 10%. I mean, FHA, depending on where you live, the market, your income, if you get a good enough rate, go for it. VA loans, you can put even no money down. Now, the other thing you're saving up for is closing costs. And this is what you're paying at closing on top of just the price of the house. This is going to include things like your insurance premium, title insurance, loan origination fees. Expect to pay between 2 and 5% of the purchase price, depending on where you live and what kind of loan you have and who your lender is. Okay? So now let's talk about saving. To save, you really have to prioritize this as the most important thing. Saving money is really easy. You spend less than you earn. But that's easier said than done, right? That's because a big part of this becomes mental. So let's take a look at your income versus expenses. You're going to need to make a budget for yourself. You've heard it a million times, and budgeting is really boring, but look at it as a game. Challenge yourself to track everything and see how much you can save every month. First thing you're going to do is track your expenses. This gets you honest with yourself. If you haven't done this in a while, I bet you'd be shocked where your money is actually going. I bet you've signed up for subscriptions you've completely forgotten about. And look, it's not your fault. We live in a time where companies mine our data and computer algorithms are created to convince us to open our pocketbooks. So when you're sorting through expenses, cut what you don't need. Let's pause to talk about that word. Remember that there's a difference between a need and a want. Yes, you probably need to allot some money for entertainment, but how many streaming services do you have? Let's get real, how much TV can one person watch? Do you have Hulu just because you're waiting for the new season of Handmaid's Tale? Because Be strategic about stuff like this. Team up with a friend who has it and go watch it with them. Cancel that subscription. What about your gym memberships? Be real with me. When's the last time you went to the gym? Can you work out outside instead or at home? Let's just say we cut Hulu and the gym. That's $12 a month for Hulu, which is $144 a year, and then like $30 for the gym. That's $360 a year. I've saved you over $500 and I don't even know you. Now, there are tons of tracking apps for expenses I recommend. I like mint.com, but there are a lot of phone ones. Just check into the security of these because you're linking them to your accounts. So you want to protect your passwords and everything. I like Mint because you can tag certain charges. So once you're set up, it can kind of automatically categorize your expenses. Once you track your expenses for a month, I bet you'll be shocked at some of the expenses. Like food. Little by little, it builds up and you don't feel it, but then when you see the big number at the end, you're like, that's how much I spend on food? That's not even fun, I just need that to survive. Once you see that number, maybe you decide to stop going out to lunch every day. You'll be shocked how much you can save by packing your own lunch. You'll probably be healthier too, which is good because I already cut your gym membership. Here's a tip. Treat yourself like a child. Set up a reward system for yourself when you hit a savings goal. Treat yourself. Set big goals and small goals. A small one could be, if I bring my lunch Monday through Thursday, Friday I get to go out to eat with my coworkers. Another thing that helps people is automating your savings. Save before you spend. Decide on an amount you can take directly from your paycheck and move that to savings. Get a separate bank account for this savings so you won't touch it unless you have to in an emergency. I've even heard people say that they do it at a different bank so that it's harder to transfer to your checking account. And that's a good idea because sometimes we are our own worst enemies. Now, if you've been watching and thinking, but Lauren, I have cut back, there's nothing else to cut back and I'm still not saving enough. I hear you and I know how to help you. You have an income problem. Remember when I said saving is super simple? You just spend less than you make and save the difference? If your spending is as small as it can possibly be, but you still can't save, you need to make more money. It's not an attack on you or your current job, it's just numbers. Consider getting a second job or expanding your skill set so you can qualify to earn more at your current job. 2021 could be the year you start your side hustle. Saving to get to your goals is all about living below your means. If you want it bad enough, you'll make it work. If it's more important to fall into flex culture, wearing a new outfit every day, eating out every meal, driving the newest car, then that's your decision. But at the end of the day, you're going to go home to a home that you don't own. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I am saving for a house. You should be proud of that. Scream it from the rooftops. And be proud of your big goals. There's nothing wrong with saying, I can't go out tonight. I'm saving up for a house. And the more people you tell that to, the better. Because if you have the right people in your life, they'll start holding you accountable. When you pull out your card to buy something you don't need, they'll give you a look like, the house? But if they don't know your goals, they'll just be like, girl, treat yourself, you look good in that dress. Let the people around you support what you actually want. And the first step is telling them what you want. You can also motivate yourself by staying really focused on your goal. So take a picture of your dream house and put it up on your fridge, so it's top of mind all the time. Put it as your phone background screen or your computer background screen. Put a sticker of a house on your debit card so every time you pull it out, you're reminded of what you're saving for. You can subscribe to my channel, so every week when you see my face pop up in the queue, you can be like, oh, there's that lady who told me to save money. Basically, just think about how good it will feel to save up and call me and say, hey Lauren, I hit my big financial goal, help me buy a house now. Anyways, I hope you found this video useful. If you liked the video, hang out and watch more. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a great 2021 and happy saving.